What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today we're going to be doing the bathroom renovation, and more specifically, we're going to be doing some drywall work. And you might be asking yourself, what kind of drywall work do you have to do, since last episode you did all the drywall in this bathroom? Well, we got to mud and tape it. And I think in this specific video, I'm going to try to get all the mudding, the taping, all the texturing, and all of the painting done in this video. So cross your fingers for that, see if it works. But today, right now, I'm going to be doing the mudding and taping. And I have to cover all these screw holes, and then I have to cover all of these joints with some tape, and then I have to do, that's it for today. That's it for right now. That's all I got to do. Now, it's a lot of work, and I think I have everything I need. I got all of my supplies right here. I got all sorts of different things. I got the tape. I got the drywall mud. I got a bucket full of water and a bucket that is for the mud. And then I have my light in here, and I'm going to set up my GoPro. You're going to see majority of this space right here. And I will just jump back in when I'm done with the first coat. I'm done with the first coat. Took me all day, literally all day, 2:12. It is 2 o'clock now. There are many spots that I do not like, but there are a few spots I really do that I really do like. But this coat is literally just the first coat. You sand it, you sand it down, and then you do another coat, and then you sand it, you do another one, and you do it until you like it. And that's what I'm gonna do. And honestly, I know I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again one day. But I don't ever want to do that again. No, it's not too bad. I'd actually rather do that than paint. And the painting's going to be... actually going to be a breeze in this room, because it's all going to be the same color. It's all going to be a white. And the ceiling's going to match the wall, so I don't have to do any of the rolling. I'm just going to spray it on. And then the baseboards are going to be super white. And then, yeah, it's going to look good in there. And I'm so excited. So I don't think I'm going to do another time lapse for the second coat or the third or the fourth or any sanding in between. But I will do a time lapse, and I will come back to this one, I'll come back to it when I'm done with all the coats, and then two, I'll come back to it when I'm going to do the texture. All right, we got good news and we got bad news. The good news is that I did a second coat, and all I have to do left is sand it and then do a few touch-up spots. The bad news is I'm sick. Ellie came home one day and she didn't feel good, and then like the next day she was sick. And I think it was a few days through that where I didn't feel any symptoms. I thought I wasn't gonna get sick. I thought for sure I just successfully just like what I thought I'm at a loss for words, because I thought that I got lucky. And because it's happened before where she had gotten pretty sick and I didn't get anything at all. Nothing was wrong. But sadly, this time I wasn't so lucky, and I am sick. Today's Tuesday. I was not able to edit last week's video, mainly because of time, but also because me not feeling good. I actually woke up Sunday morning and I was like, I can't go anywhere today. I can't do anything today. I cannot get out of bed right now. I actually slept for a bit longer, and then I was like, we just sat on the couch all day. But yesterday, Monday, I didn't really do too much. I did a couple loads of dishes, and that's kind of it. And I took a lot of naps, but today I do feel a bit better, and I don't want to be laying in bed all day, I would really like to get this sanded and to do those touch-up spots. So then very, very soon after, I can do the texture. And hopefully that'll be this week, because that's what this video is going to be. The other thing, though, is I need to find the time to edit last week's video so I can put it out as soon as possible, which would be the week that you're watching this. But we also have other things going on. So I'm kind of like, I'm getting pretty low on time. And so I don't really think I'm going to be able to edit this video and post it for this weekend. So this might be next week's video. Anyways, I do feel a bit better. I got my shoes on and everything, and I'm going to get my headphones. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to sand. I'm going to sand. I'm going to go slow because I don't want to exert myself more than I need to, and I'm just going to take my time so I don't get what's the word? I don't want to get obscenely tired from doing this one simple task. I would like to do a couple other things today too, like doing some more laundry and maybe clean up the laundry room a little bit because it is getting dusty and kind of messy in here. But with that being said, this next clip will be me showing you the finished product in there, hopefully. Today's Thursday. It's about 9:30 in the morning. And I just got done doing the last bit of sanding in this bathroom. And I did a total of 4 coats, 2 everywhere, 3 in a few places, and 4 in just a couple other places. And I'm ready to do the texture. This is what the room looks like. The few places where I did multiple coats was around here, where there's a couple screws that kind of still popped out that I couldn't put back in. You could kind of tell there's one there and one there, but that should be covered. It should be fine. And then I did that piece and this piece, a couple more, just because the drywall wasn't lined up perfectly. And I am ready now to do the texture. The thing is, though, on the box for the texture, it says to prime the drywall before you do any of the texture. And I didn't really know that, so I kind of looked it up, and I figured out that, yeah, you're kind of supposed to prime before you texture. But a lot of people say that they don't. They prime after they do. And I think I'm going to do before and after, mainly because I have the equipment, I have the stuff, I have the primer for it. And also, I want to make sure I do it as right as possible. And I'm going to do that. I think one of these days, hopefully in the near future, I might do a video on the differences between priming before, after, and after. And also see what happens if you don't prime at all. And I think that's what I'm going to do for a video, hopefully pretty soon. So watch out for that. But today, my timeline for today changed, and with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get my primer, my paint gun, and all this stuff, and I'm going to paint this room. And I'm choosing to spray it because I have a sprayer. I want to use a sprayer. I don't like painting with a roller and paintbrush, and I know it's going to be quite a bit of work to clean it and quite a bit of paint loss, but there was already going to be paint loss with the brush and roller. So I'm going to do that, and it shouldn't take too long for it to dry, and I'm thinking, especially when I come back, that's when I can do the texture, but I'm not quite sure when that's going to dry. I'm going to give it 24 hours, but I'm not sure if I have tomorrow to prime it and then to paint it tomorrow, because we're going to be going on a little trip for the weekend. So luckily, last week's video, I just moved it to when this video was supposed to come out. So I have a whole nother week for this video to get completed. But I want to try to stay a week ahead anyway. So missed a week, that's all right. Now, let me get the stuff ready and bring it back in. And let me charge this camera because it's about to die. All right, I'm back. And this is what the room looks like. There are some spots, as you can tell there, and probably on this wall, where you kind of see lines, and I think it's just the way I sprayed it, like the overlap. I didn't do it very well, but because this is just the primer, it's not too bad, and I think The next step is going to be the texture, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to do primer again, and then I'm going to paint. So this room is looking real good. Okay, it's had a chance to dry, and you can't really tell on camera unless I do up close, but everything's textured. And before I show you, I'd made a few mistakes. Actually, over here on the sink in this area, I actually had to redo all of this portion down here because that was the first area I did. And I thought if I messed up really bad, you're not going to be able to see it because the vanity's going to be there. So I started with that wall, but I redid it, and then I went ahead and did everything else, and there's a few spots, like 2 or 3 spots that I don't really like. But this is my first time actually texturing, and it's not as easy as you think it is, but it's also not super hard. I don't know if the thickness of the mud really, like it was pretty thin, so I don't know if that had a huge effect on it. I don't know if the gun I used had an effect on it. But I went at around 55 psi and really closed the, I don't know, the airflow or the texture, the amount of texture. And I finally got it to a point that I liked, and I went over it. And there's, like I said, only a few spots that I don't really like, but you can see the texture. I went with orange peel. The rest of the house is orange peel, but I also really like orange peel. I don't really like knockdown, and I don't like any other texture other than orange peel. And this is like maybe a light to medium, maybe heavy orange peel. Like this spot right here is pretty smooth compared to the other spots just because of how the amount of texture is here. And you can kind of tell because it's not the same as this spot. But down here, right here, you can see that there's extra texture there, and that's because I couldn't get all of it scraped off, and back behind this pipe I couldn't really get to it. And then right here in this corner it's not really done super well, but there's that spot, and then there's this spot over here. It's still kind of drying, but I messed up. I bumped it with the hose and it messed it up, so I scraped it off. And then you can really tell where I scraped it off. So I tried my best, scraped more off, and I tried to feather it out. And actually, other than this piece right here kind of showing you where the incident is, you really can't tell unless you really look for it, like right here. But there's that spot, and then this spot up here where the hole is, it's still there. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit of caulk and a little bit of paint. And then you won't be able to tell. But the rest of it, oh, and the last little spot is right here. There's a line from the tape, and I can't really do anything about it. But, I mean, most of it is going to be covered, so it's going to be about this much showing. But I think it looks pretty good. I hope the time-lapse really came through and showed what happened. But the ceiling's textured, and everything in here, the walls and the ceiling are going to be the same color. It's going to be a like new house white, and then the trim is going to be ultra pure white, and then the vanity and the black like accents, like the faucet and the valve right there and the shower head are all going to be black, and I think the metal on the shower door is going to be black. So it's going to be black metal with a like a brownish vanity, and so it's going to be pretty bright in here and pretty white. But I think if anything happens and we want to change it, we can. And actually, I can see right here that this is kind of thin right here. You can see a little bit of the drywall behind it, and right here too. But you're not going to be able to notice that because the toilet's going to be here, and also I'm going to have to prime it and then paint it. Ellie and I are going to be gone for today and tomorrow, and so Sunday I'm going to come in here, prime it, let that completely dry for about probably an hour or 2 hours, and then I'm going to paint it. And then I'm going to be done with it, and I'm just gonna let it dry, and probably that'll be it for this video. And then what I'm gonna be doing is some of the baseboard, and then I'm gonna put the shower like glass wall in, and then I'm gonna do the vanity and the rest of the baseboard, and then I'm gonna do the toilet and then the door, and then technically speaking, the whole bathroom should be done. I mean, I gotta do the lights and the mirror in the shower head, but then it should all be done and ready to go. And I'm super excited. I'm a little worried because this is all stuff that you're gonna be able to see, and I really need to take my time on it and not rush it, and really just try to do a good job. But that will be it for this little portion today. The next couple clips, actually this next clip will be probably the last clip of, I probably won't time lapse the painting, but I will definitely show you what it looks like next. Alrighty, so it is a couple days from the last clip, and I have primed and painted the bathroom, and I actually took off the plastic and all the tape. I didn't clean it up very well. There's a lot of dust everywhere, but let me show you what it looks like. So there's the shower in all of its glory, and before I primed it, the texture was a little bit more like a yellow, and so when I primed it, it was an obvious difference. But when I was painting it, it was not a huge difference at all. This is a Bear Marquee from Home Depot in New House White. It is not the base color, which is ultra pure white. It is New House White, and it is in satin finish. The baseboard will be pure white in semi-gloss, but you can see the texture, you can see the paint, and there are a few spots like up here where it's a little bit pokey, and I'm not quite sure why that is. There's a few spots here and there that are kind of like that too, but I think it looks amazing. I think I did a really good job. If you really look at this spot where I had the issue, you can tell, but from right here and on camera, you can't unless I focus it, which is actually on the line is right here. And the other one, you can't really tell unless I really look at it. But there's only a few things that I don't like. And a couple of them are before I did the painting and the texturing. But one of the biggest is this drywall piece butting up against this shower. What I should have done, and which I didn't really know, was like in tile work, there's this little like trim piece that you put on the very outside so you can't see the edge of the tile. You can do the same thing with drywall and the shower here, and I wish I did, because all of this needs to be caulked, and there are bigger gaps and other areas where this gap is bigger than this one. And also that this piece is almost like flush with this tile, so it's gonna look kind of weird. But I'm gonna caulk it all and try to make it look nice, so there won't be that big of a gap. And then the second thing is that I already showed you, but there's this tape piece, and right now you can't really tell, but I think when the lights are on, you'll be able to tell a little bit. But there's gonna be a piece of trim, probably this big, so there's only gonna be this much. And over on this side, you can't really tell very well. So that's not really a big problem. And then that little tiny hole right there, I'm just gonna fill in with some caulk. And then that's kind of it. Like, I don't really mind the look of the texture. Some places are a little bit like heavier, maybe softer, and a little bit others are a little bit finer and rougher. But I think it's just a combination of the mud and just the technique. And the fact that this is my first time doing all of this, but I think it looks amazing, and I'm ready to start finishing the bathroom. Today, I'm going to be doing some extra work in here, doing the lights and the outlets and some of the other electrical, so then I don't have to use this lamp anymore. And then after that's done, I'm going to be working on the shower door part where all the glass is, and then once that's done, I'll pull up the ram board on the floor, and that's when I can put in the vanity and toilet, but I think before that I'm going to do a little bit of baseboard work, especially around the toilet, because I'll have to do like multiple pieces if I do one full piece. So I'll probably do that first before I do the toilet, and then I'll do the rest of the trim after I get the door in, I think. But with that being said, that will be it for today's video. I'm really, really happy with the outcome. I think it's beautiful. I think the sheen is just right. I think I'm going to go with satin for the whole house, and then do semi-gloss for all the baseboards. And I think that it is something that, like, it looks pretty, it looks nice. The shower, since it's not the same white, you can just kind of tell maybe it's a little bit cooler, on the cool side. But I think when the shower door is in and the rest of the stuff is in and I caulk it all, it's going to look beautiful, and I can't wait to use it. I can't wait to actually see the finished product, because this has been a long time coming and it's a lot of work. Just a little quick full recap. This room was the laundry room, and it had the water heater and furnace in here, but they were in a different spot. The furnace was about right here in front of me, and then the washer was about right there, and then the dryer was where that furnace is now, and then the water heater was actually, I think, technically speaking, I think it was actually right there. But there was a wall about right here where I'm standing, so this room was a lot smaller, and then the door was right there. And then there wasn't a window in here. There was actually a window kind of in the middle of this wall right here. And there was just one door into this room that was kind of maybe roughly right here. And we did all this work. So in order to move this wall, we needed to, this is a load-bearing wall, and so we needed to kind of keep this, the original wall up, and then built the new wall. And then we also had to do some foundation, like not foundation stuff, but like support, like a beam underneath the house to support the weight that's going to be moved over. And then we had to take out the door and frame up the new door, and which we would have to take out the old window, and then we have to build the bathroom. And we did we kind of had to like build a secondary wall, like we had to fur out the wall because of the way the foundation is. But I didn't really think about where the new wall is and where it is on the foundation, and so that's kind of why we have this little piece sticking up. But with that being said, I think, like, I did a lot of this work myself. My dad helped me with quite a bit of it too. He helped me with a lot of the framing and a lot of the wall. But I did a lot of this bathroom stuff myself, and I did a lot of the, I'm going to be probably doing a lot of the finishing work by myself. But my dad's going to come help me and start helping me with the toilet and the vanity, and he might help me with the shower. But I'm really excited. I'm really happy. It is almost there. Obviously, though, we have the whole outside to do, and then the rest of this room. But like I said in like my last video or a couple videos ago, this room might not get done for maybe a while. I don't know how long exactly, but there still is more work that needs to be done in this room before I can like start finishing it. And that doesn't really make sense, but there's also things in other rooms that will make it harder to do and finish if I have this room completed. But I do have all the flooring for this room, and I don't have all the drywall, but I mean, drywall is not super expensive, but I would just need to get the insulation and drywall, but all that is stuff that I can get later on. But like I said, that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack that button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on post notifications. It'll help me out a lot. And I'll see you guys all next time.